Well, probably going to see the Stray Cats play in 1990 at the Palace was pretty sort of life-changing, I think, because me and Scott, we both went to it, but we were only 16 at the time. But we managed to get in just through a guy that we knew who worked there, and we were like the youngest guys in the place, obviously underage at that point, and we were massive fans, of like 50s music, and we loved kind of a little bit of punk rock and stuff as well. And the thing that I loved about like the Stray Cats was that they mixed both of those together, and they just had a look and a sound that for some reason we just identified with and fell in love with. And then being at that concert, and I remember because the curtains opened and they started playing Rumble in Brighton, and it was just, it was the most incredible thing for us, because it was like we'd only just sort of started mucking around and forming what we thought might have been a bit of a band and stuff. And seeing those guys up close like that in the flesh, sort of in front of us, was just was electrifying, really. And so after that, it was just, right, this is what we're going to do. And thinking that we might be able to sort of play around Melbourne, but to ever get overseas or anything just seemed like another world away. It would never happen, but that definitely gave us a drive. I have my folks to thank for a lot of my musical endeavours, I guess, because they had stuff like everything from Rod Stewart albums to Leo Sayer to Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Elvis, Chuck Berry.
Mum's side of it was made up of Beatles. She was a McCartney fan more than a Lennon fan, and that's how you pretty much divided people of the 60s, I suppose, wasn't it?
All the 50s stuff that I immediately fell in love with, but they also had things like, Slade, and I think they might have even had a Black Sabbath record or something.
Mum liked Dr. Hook. Dad liked more rock and roll, kind of leather jacket wearing Gene Vincent and early Elvis Presley and all that kind of stuff.
Hot August Night and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road were ones that were quite often played at ridiculously loud volume levels when I was a little kid. And it was only after that I kind of got a little bit more narrow-minded and started listening just to 50s music for a while and thought everything else was crap, But then I discovered once again that, there's so many great styles out there that it's just crazy to limit yourself to one, to listening to one style of music.
Midnight Oil.
You and my Hoodoo Gurus.
Biggest influence on me, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly.
Stray Cats.
The Stray Cats, AC/DC, The Clash.
The Clash.
The Sharp, in a weird sort of way. I love The Sharp.
The Who. The Beatles.
Even bands like the Hoodoo Gurus and Midnight Oil, stuff that was, Australian stuff that was on the radio growing up, and stuff with real guitars, real messages and real power.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
When I first met him, we were in primary school. We were probably about
1986, I guess. And our older sisters
were friends, so they'd get together, on the weekends or whatever. And
this barbecue one day of all the families.
Me and Chris would kind of get lumped together in the backyard of one of either ours or one of our sisters' friends' houses. And we'd have to, because we were the same age as each other, we'd just muck around together, and we'd just have to keep ourselves occupied by,
going down the shop and stuff with the other guys, and leaving the parents and our older sisters back at the barbecue, and us kind of getting up to mischief down at the local
primary school and climbing around the roof looking for tennis balls and just collecting them.
Sounds really kind of watered down. But back then, you get in big trouble if you're at the school on the weekend, particularly climbing all over the roofs. So that was our little bit of rebellion, I think.
What for? I don't know. We didn't play tennis.
When me and Scott first started out playing, we just had an immediate love for like 50s rock and roll and rockabilly, and I guess, because that was like the sort of punk rock of 50s music.
When Chris first showed me the Stray Cats when we were in high school, that was when I decided that I was playing piano, and that was when I decided if we're going to play in a band together, it's got to be double bass. Definitely can't be piano, and it's got to be double bass. I didn't think twice about anything else. Just thought it's got to be a double bass. If we're going to play in a rockabilly band, it has to be double bass.
And we used to cover a lot of those sort of songs when we first started playing, and I think what I loved about like AC/DC was that they also drew influence from like 50s music and Little Richard and Chuck Berry and stuff. I mean, it's so obvious when you listen to their songs. So
I go around and listen to him play guitar every now and then. Listen to him, turn his amp up loud and play some licks and stuff. And that was a bit of fun after school.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always tried to draw influence from a lot of different areas with guitar playing. I've always loved sort of the Chuck Berry sort of thing, but I also love like Chet Atkins, like more finger style kind of guitar. And I think I'm basically a schizophrenic. I can't make up my mind exactly what I want to play, so I just try and sort of play it all. Jack of all trades but master of none.
Yeah, I was 17 and I had, I think, about $1,500 saved up to buy a car. Dad said if I could save up a fair wad of cash that he'd give me some to put towards a car when I turned 18. So I thought I had $1,500 saved up. And then as soon as I decided I'm buying a double bass so me and Chris can play together, that was it. Basically everything went out the window. I just decided that's it. Managed to talk Dad into it. I've changed my mind. I'm going to buy a bass. Ended up finding one for $1,500 and basically coming home with it that day or whatever. I don't know why it was that I so solidly made up my mind that that's all I wanted to do. But yeah, something obviously just triggered off, and I just went, that's it. I'm going to buy one and learn how to play.
We would just get on the train, guitar, a double bass, which looked very odd, and sometimes we had a drummer, sometimes we didn't.
Go into shops asking them if we could use one of their PowerPoints and put a little lamp out on the street, which never ever goes down well. And
yeah, we would just do 50s songs and just set up there and play in Burke Street or whatever, and until we got moved on, because we never bothered to get a license. And I think we figured because we were kind of young that we weren't going to get in any serious trouble. They couldn't really, pin us down.
But that was how we met Joe.
That he was a drummer and that we were looking for a drummer. And we kind of knew that he was, even if he couldn't drum, he was going to look the part because he was kind of tall and had a sort of rocker kind of hairdo and leather jacket and just looked really cool. And it was just like, well, half of it's already there.
Yeah, he stood there and watched for a few songs or whatever and came up afterwards, and because he'd obviously played in bands before and been like knew all about the rockabilly scene or whatever in Melbourne.
It was always me and Scott like hell bent on this 50s thing. You've got to have the hair and you've got to have the sleeveless bowling shirts and you've got to have the shoes, because when you're into that sort of thing, it's got to be 110% or kind of not at all.
He figured out that he wanted to join a band and we needed a drummer, so exchanged phone numbers and yada yada yada. That's how we met our first permanent drummer.
I think So Lonely was the first ever track we wrote, which ended up on our first EP, Hellbound, not to be confused with the Police song So Lonely.
And because we were young and we loved the whole traditional kind of 50s stuff, but more the rootsy kind of real early kind of raw Johnny Burnett and Carl Perkins and all the dirtier kind of sounding stuff. We weren't all that interested in rock and roll dancing. We just liked the 50s music and kind of cars and stuff.
And that was the whole kind of thing behind doing the covers, was to earn money to pay for petrol to get to the gigs, and then put money into, this thing called the living end that we might get up and running one day. So we worked really hard at that too. So when it came to writing songs, that's when we tried to go, right, we're into 50s music, but we're going to try and incorporate all different elements. I don't think we ever really wrote any sort of 12-bar blues 50s songs. They were always like trying to write songs that a rockabilly band could play but had chord progressions like The Cure or something. From the word go, that's kind of what we tried to do, and I think we've just been trying to refine that ever since.
Fellas, when you fucking take it outside and stop fighting.
The whole scene was based around, everyone would go there and dance. It wasn't like the crowds would go and stand at the front of the stage and mosh or anything. It was, you'd go there to dance, basically, and drink. Which we weren't interested in the dancing, we were interested in the drinking and the people standing up the front and moshing and stuff.
A lot of you guys get hassled. Really get hassled?
Yes, you do. Thanks for the clap.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
So, we were the outcasts, a little bit.
I want to hang.
I would have liked to see Living End. They played yesterday.
Living End.
Living End.
Living End.
Living End.
Living End were awesome musicals and much respect to those guys.
For some reason, Prisoner started just going through the roof, like everyone was commenting on that song. So I think we ended up doing a clip to that first.
Yeah, we just had no idea that it was going to take us to another level or anything. It was just another thing to kind of keep us going, keep us surviving and working. Just had absolutely no idea that was going to happen.
Maybe Prisoner seemed to have a novelty aspect to it, I know it's hard to believe when you listen to that song that there is a novelty to it. Just kidding. And perhaps we thought that Second Solution was a bit kind of, I don't know, a bit cooler sounding or something, Because I think when you're in a band and you're mucking around with new songs and stuff, you want to go with a song that you think sounds cool, whatever that is. But there's a certain something surrounding a song.
they were the ones who was saying like Prison of Society is definitely the strongest song out of the whole lot, and we always just thought, it's just another kind of psychobilly song or whatever. We had heaps of songs like that. But we thought Second Solution had something really kind of cool about it, and we liked Prison of Society, but yeah, we just thought Second Solution was much stronger, and it was more fun to play live because you could kind of slam it out a bit more, and it was the people at MDS and everyone just kind of went, Prison of Society's definitely got something about it, like that it should just be that single or whatever, and that's the one you should try and get played on the radio or whatever, and we just said, whatever, no big deal.
And then, that was the second song on that EP, so, it just sort of proves that we didn't know that was the song. Now, I often wonder now if we wrote a song like that, whether we'd be able to pick it, because it's so simple and, it gets across to people very easily. But back then we didn't have any of that sort of music industry knowledge, and I think that was the best thing, because we were just naive and we're just writing whatever came out, and it happened in a natural, organic way, which is, the way it should happen. But the more experience you get in this industry, the harder it is, I think, to get back to that kind of innocence.
And the amount of people that just go crazy in the daylight. If there wasn't a band there, you couldn't imagine that many people going just stupid in a field like that.
Excuse me.
And I've lost my life, for I toss and turn, I can't sleep at night. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. Straight to love you, given to give you all that boy can give. Take my tears and gnash down to you.
That's punk. That is so punk. Hey? Did you cry?
No, fucking. When I broke the stick and it hit me in the mouth,
Yeah.
I just got that fucking angry that it fucking hit me in the knuckles.
You alright now?
Yeah, I'll leave.
You find this funny?
Oh, yeah. This is fucking life.
But it's a funny one, because I think that it was because they weren't really thought out that well, or that we didn't sort of have any pressure of, I think we struck gold here, that we didn't overdo them, and we didn't sort of overwork them and over rehearse them or whatever. They were just another couple of songs that we just treated like anything else, and I'm so glad that it worked out that way.
Step into my salon.
So here I come to
Where is it on the charts, Chris? A Grinspoon record?
Apparently it's number 5, I do imagine.
Wow, that's pretty good. They must be big.
Our local lads done good.
Where's yours at?
Talking about the movie.
Tell us what to do, as we're on our own. Stand up, don't walk away. Take your pride and swallow, swallow. Hold on down. Hold on. You got no reason. You got no reason. You got no reason.
West side, please, everybody. Attention. I'd just like to raise a toast this evening. Living End, I'd like to say congratulations.
On debuting
number 1. And how much we aspire to follow in your footsteps. Living End. Ching.
I'm being videoed as we speak, so unfortunately, that's
tour anyway from Sydney, so we have to bring all
I own the
here
rights.
anyway, so it suited us to start
In fact,
the hours and keep touring.
We own the rights.
Ray, get that fucking camera off me.
Yeah, that's
smash
fucking.
it. And you know what? I can smash it. You know why? I don't know why, but I can.
We're going to sound check at the Arias. It is 2:30 and we're not nervous yet. Scott Owen sits next to me. Sits next to me.
I do. Sydney's shits. Sydney's shit. There's my quote.
On stage, ladies and gentlemen, their album debuted at #1 this week. They're nominated for 5 Arias tonight. They are The Living End!
And we won the ARIA for the highest selling single or something for that year, and it was, it was put out by MDS, and it was kind of pushed by us and didn't have a marketing scheme behind it, didn't have like a great deal of money, but it was just the word on the street. And if there could only be more hit records that way, it would be, I think the industry would be in a much better state. But as we all know, it doesn't work that way. It's a business. So, but yeah, I'm very proud of it for that reason.
The ARIA goes to The Living End, Second Solution.
Punkabilly rocks with the debut album at #1 this week. Congratulations to The Living End.
I had to write a list because the first thing I learned in Boy Scouts was to be prepared. So, I don't know. I just want to. We should thank. Wow, I'm so nervous. I'll just realise some names. Carl Richter, thanks for all your hard work and believing in us from the beginning. Andrew Parisi, same thing. Ray Harvey, our manager, who does things differently, but it's definitely worked for us, the honest way. Everyone at Sideline, Craig, Tracy, Kathy, Sue, Zoe, Clinton, our sound guy, Body Jar and Jebediah for taking us out on the road. Lindsay Gravina for producing the single, John O'Donnell for his continuing support, Emma, Michelle and Sam, our parents for supporting us, Modular EMI, and just all our friends and families, and you guys who bought it. Thank you.
Cheers.
There didn't really seem to be any transition within the band or anything. That kind of just all happened above our heads or around us or whatever. And yeah, it didn't feel like anything was different in the band, apart from the fact we got to quit the day jobs, which was very satisfying.
All right, we've had a bit of a major lineup change here. We can hear drums, but there's the drummer. What's the verdict?
I think I'm out of a job. Oh yeah! You can tell a drummer by the shoes he wears. Like, I'm a sneaker man, meaning I have no style whatsoever, but Scott is a real drummer, wearing Doc Martens when he plays. That's rock.
it, Trav. You've lost your job after that. Come on!
Oh, look at that.
You gotta check out the socks.
Dude, that's the difference right there. Look at that. Look at that.
Yo, yo, yo. 1, 2. Yep, actually I could do it just to still a little bit more.
Celebrate, obviously, the platinum record and the gold record and the Living End finally signing their record deals. Hooray! Yay!
Here it comes again. Don't let it pass you by like the city ground train. You know it's up to us to lead the way lost toward victory.
He's shooting a video.
Again, a rock and roll song, an old 50s rock and roll song, but putting the Living End touch to it and making it relevant and making it like so that the kids understood it. And to me that was, again, a real buzz, and I think that that's going to be something that not only Australia but I think that the world eventually is going to understand, and it's, you know, a great honour to see that happen at this very early stage. More importantly, it's 100,000 sales of a CD that was made in 5 days, and it's 100,000 sales for a CD that is homegrown, and it's also 100,000 sales that is going to kids that are buying that instead of some UK or US self-processed.
That's it, boys. We're really going out to end the fucking show, don't we?
Quick, just give them a bunch of free shit so they don't hate us.
What's that?
Give them a bunch of free shit. Yeah! So they don't hate us.
Yeah, my name's Fuck. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching us.
Yep, but that was, you know, coming from here where it felt like it had blown up in a huge way, yet it had been such a gradual climb, and I think we were always aware of that. So when we went to America and we set up on the back of that truck and we played to those 5 people, I don't think it was particularly a shock to the system, because I think we were never that naive to think that, oh, okay, cool, so we've made it in Australia and we're world famous. We knew that wasn't going to be the case, so we were quite willing to do that, and I quite like, you know, the idea of that, of going to another country. No one knows who you are. You start from scratch.
First Warped Tour was a tough one because we had to share a bus with a band called Strung Out, and they were like veterans of the road and felt pretty comfortable kind of spreading themselves out on the bus, whereas we'd never been on a tour bus before. So.
You know.
So she lies like this?
No, she's on her knees, tied up.
So you like put her like that?
And then you use her mouth. Check it out.
She's giving you a blowjob.
She's ready to go, dude.
So we don't have these in Australia because Australian men get women.
Yeah. Chris has done had his way with this, I'll tell you.
Actually, I'm agriculture. I'm not customs. I don't have no gun.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there yesterday in Seattle. Were you really?
Did you see LA?
Yeah, I did.
The Rockabilly Band?
Yes. You're kidding me?
Really?
Rock on. It was so awesome.
Really?
Rock on. This is great.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Dawn. I don't need
Dawn.
your passport.
Dawn.
D-A-W-N.
Is that your mum's name?
It was all very eye-opening and daunting and weird for us. And it was pretty hard going because, you know, the Warped Tour is bad food, no hotels or anything, no showers. It's all pretty tough going. It's always hot too. It's in the middle of summer over there, so going through Arizona and you know, the desert is just, it's harsh. The Vandals gig, oh yeah, that one in Orange County at in Anaheim or something. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, the one where we got abuse yelled at us for the whole gig.
Yeah, we're called the Living End from Melbourne, Australia. I know you want the Vandals, but you got to fucking put up with us for 40 minutes. Sorry, so you can go get fucked!
I think I kind of lost it that night. I lost a bit of sanity.
It's really only like 3 or 4 people who yelled abuse at us for the whole gig.
Any Australian that's told you that Foster's is the best beer is trying to play a fucking practical joke on you, I'm telling you.
Most Australians don't drink. I know. We find it funny too, but everyone in Australia drinks water.
We did do it kind of tough on that tour. We were just in like a van and we were sort of, you know, loading in and out of places, and we didn't have any real support or anything. And yeah, we got up to play before the Vandals, who we'd become sort of good friends with over here and had invited us to play the show. And we thought, great, you know, we'll get up and play in front of a big audience and, you know, hopefully win them over.
This is garage at its finest. Yeah, but we already knew we sucked before we came here, so you're not telling us anything we don't know, butthead. Hey, you know what? If we fucking suck so much, why don't you just leave until the Vandals come back on?
But, you know, and the crowd was just kind of whinging. You know, I think it was Trav, like, in the end that just said, you know, don't worry, sweetie, you know, the Vandals are going to be on soon, you know, saying to some guy in the audience who was probably like 7'8" or something, you know.
Yeah, the Vandals are coming up. It's sweet, baby. It's sweet. we're just as excited to see the Vandals as you are, okay? So pull your ducks up and just shut up.
Man, I'm gonna try this guitar, and if we can't get through this gig because of like technical problems, you're gonna see the Vandals earlier anyway. So
There was just so many sort of comments and stuff coming from the crowd, like, you know, just go back home and we want the Vandals and get off stage. And I don't know whether they it came to them throwing stuff at us, but I think I don't know whether there's footage on the video, but I was throwing stuff around at some point. I was just like, for some reason I was really fed up with it, and I don't know, maybe I felt we deserved more than that, but that's good, you know, it just shows a bit of drive, I guess. And
alright, we're gonna fucking try something different. You don't know any of our stuff, you fucking hate us, we don't care. We're gonna play something that you might know.
Yeah, I would like to see what they're doing these days.
You guys wanna hear something quick? Like really fucking fast? Lightning speed! So fast it'll make your fucking head spin and you'll fall down at the end of it. We're gonna play Love Me Tender. This one's called Growing Up Falling Down.
Lying on my head, no wine. Lying not in my bed, just checking out the world from a different angle. That's what happens when you trip, and your blindness always seems, for some reason, that it is happening to me. Why is it so, and why don't I know? Why is it so? I can see the obstacle in front of me, the obstacle in front of me. Christ, I'm falling down again. It happens to me now and then. I'm growing up, yeah, I won't let it fade away. I promise to be strong and brave. Growing up, yeah, growing up, yeah, growing up, yeah, growing up, yeah, growing up, yeah. Open up your eyes and maybe then you'll realize the truth is in the thoughts you hold and not the obstacle in front of you. Why is it so, and why don't I know? Why is it so? I can see the obstacle in front of me, the obstacle in front of me. Christ, I'm falling down again. It happens to me now and then. I'm growing up, yeah, I won't let it fade away. I promise to be strong and brave. Growing up, yeah, 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 growing up, yeah. Falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down. I'm lying on my head, no, I'm not in my bed, just checking out the world from a different angle. Why is it so, and why don't I
you go. There's your big moment on the screen.
Give me the camera.
No.
Hello.
One room will be Harvey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you feeling this morning, Scott?
Pretty good.
Chris?
Pretty good.
You're going to value this for the rest of your life, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a special moment.
You go.
Alright, well, we're going through New Zealand. We've just got to Auckland. We're driving down the road. I don't know where we're going. Going out for lunch or something. Then we go to a hotel.
You mentioned before that you felt like a bit of a rock star. Why is that, Chris?
Me?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden we just get off the plane and hop into Tarago's. We don't have to load gear and stuff anymore, which is kind of...
Good?
It's kind of a bit nerve-wracking because our gear could get lost or something like that.
It's going to make a great television.
When you cut it all up, it'll be fine, man. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why is he filming all this? But guess what?
Because I sat there and watched 15 minutes of filming Lake Tahoe and it was really boring. The same 15 minutes and it all looked the same the whole time.
Here we are in New Zealand. It's a foreign country and we're playing with foreign equipment. And we did our sound check and it sounded... So it's only uphill from here. This is our set list. Paul Martin. Man who's going to make us sound good. The end.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing out the wet car.
Scott, tell us about what happened with the bass before the gig.
Busted in half. The livid story, as far as I see it, is we flew to Livid, got off the plane and went to the gig, and then our freight was arriving later, which was, you know, being unloaded from underneath the plane by the cargo handlers into a van or whatever and coming off to the festival. Now, about an hour before we started, I opened up the bass case and went to pull it out by the neck, and the neck almost came away from the bass. It was I was devastated. It was an hour before we were starting. I didn't have a spare bass, so we just had to basically pull all resources together, which when you're, you know, a band at our level, your resources are a roll of gaffer tape. And we just had to cover the whole, like stick the neck of the bass basically back on with gaffer tape. And I thought, this is not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And there was another band playing that day who had a double bass as well, and they offered their services and their bass came over, but it was just a beautiful old jazz bass with like little acoustic pickups on it, and I thought, the pickups aren't really going to stand up to Chris's guitar rig and the sound of a drum kit being slammed. They might work on it against a jazz band or whatever, but that ain't going to work. And B, I don't want to kill this guy's bass. I'd hate to, you know, mishandle it and hand it back to him in 3 pieces. we're playing.
There's a kid who was born and was raised in the West. There's a kid from the East that never really fit in with the rest. Every week they would meet in the street with their friends.
The gun tape's slowly lifting, the neck's slowly moving forward and forward and forward, getting harder to play, almost to the point where it's just about to snap again. But yes, luckily we made it through, and the bass saw lived to see another gig.
Tell us about the album. I don't want to butt in because I'm the drummer and drummers aren't supposed to speak, but I will anyway, Kevin. I wouldn't dream of stopping you. Okay, good. The album is really different in the fact that it's got like drums, bass, guitar, heaps of singing, and there's like, I think there's a hand clap somewhere, which hasn't really been done since the Beatles.
It's got 14 songs. It's got Prisoner of Society and Second Solution.
Well, seeing as you've all got instruments here, how about you give us a demonstration of one of the songs that's on the record? This is going to be the next single off the Living End album. Take it away, guys. Leaving home.
Releasing some more stuff overseas.
Yeah, the album's coming out, I think, February.
February. Overseas,
yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Cool. That's this in America or overseas. Good. And they've been a very busy year, the Living End. They've been hanging out in the US recently and just finished a national tour as well on top of the Save the Day single. What are your plans next?
Sleep.
Over summer? Sleep.
Well, not much time for rest, really. We've got, we're going to Germany in December.
We're in Frankfurt. Chris, what's your first impression of Frankfurt? I'm looking out the window. There's my hand. Look at that.
Hey Trav, is this the first time you've ever seen snow falling from the sky?
No, generally I always see it falling from the ground. Lindsay, smile for the camera. You're going to be on the Living End Home documentary. Lindsay, good to see you've brought a bit of Australiana with you. Boots, shorts, and it's -2 outside. Are we allowed to buy these little knives and take them through customs? I've already got in trouble. I've only been here 5 minutes and I've upset people in Germany already. Do you care if I upset people, Lindsay?
Look at this, baby-sized flick knife. Kill that big sister.
This is us getting all our stuff. We've been at the airport now for how long, Scott? How long have we been sitting here for?
1 hour.
No, more than that. We've been here since 7.
What time is it? I just don't care anymore.
Look at the time.
Care
We've been here for 3 hours and our plane is snowed in. And we're going to go and get a train now because we don't know where our plane is. Yeah, we're going to go get our baggage from downstairs and then get to Frankfurt, get a train from Frankfurt to Hamburg.
We're winging it.
We're winging it.
We're winging it big time.
Me and
Let's
Scott
have
are
a
the
look.
Beanie Brothers. We wear beanies. I don't even know what it looks like on me. Probably really bad.
Do you want to have a look?
Yeah, I was pretty much
How you
correct.
doing there?
Pretty,
Chris, what's going on? Tell us what's going on.
Playing Tetris. Seeing Dropkick Murphys. About to hit a track.
Oh, hang on. Turbulence. Hang on, Scott. Here we have security. German security. Hi. How are you? How are you? You good?
Yes.
Yeah. Good job.
German. Good German.
Good German. You speak any English? Good money? Good money? Did you get to have a few drinks? Yeah. Smoke? Cool. That's alright.
How you feeling, Scott Owen?
Very nervous. Yeah, you got him just in, he's walking around.
What about you, Chris? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm just warming up. Here's my, this is my area.
1, 2, go.
Come on, you fucking drummer. You got strong arms, alright? Don't fucking, I don't even want to hold my hand.
It's nearly over for you, Travis.
Move your arm over, bitch. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, now, children.
See that?
Oh.
That's a technicality. Bullshit! Chris, I guess I took my arm over.
Oh, you lost.
Chris is not the best in everything. He gets all silky and shit.
Living again! I say last night, some say life is a struggle. Some say life should be nice. One day, they must be something. Students, they work keep on playing. One man, try to change the whole world. One man.
Ray, why are you recording this? May I ask? Oh, this is me cleaning Scott's seafoam so he can sit back in it. How interesting. That's make good television. I am an idiot.
No, I won't take that photo.
What the fuck are you filming this for, you? Piss off. How grumpy I get when I wake up so you can just fuck right off.
I know you get grumpy, Scotty. That's why I film you.
Very good. Spark ass. Yeah, so basically if you get a doner kebab, they throw in a few tablets with it. And it's the best kebab you'll ever have. It's just the Bonanza Spielhall. But we have got World of Sex.
There it is.
I went into World of Sex and...
What did we find in there, Scotty?
So I may be off the wall just a little bit. I may seem to be unfriendly, but that's not it. Well, I never thought that I was straight. I never thought that I
it's crazy. It's unbelievable because I don't ever listen to bands that sing in another language, so I can't fathom what it's like to get that much of a kick out of a song without even having any idea what it's about.
But I did like The Big Day Out in '99.
Monday, a day like no other. Monday was their last day. Some say life is a struggle. Some say life should be easy. One day in the peaceful village, school day in Worthington Place. One man could change the whole world. One man is all it took for. No school today, it's just a memory. One night gone wrong. I don't wanna play on Monday. I don't wanna play on Monday. Into my memory, not just another Monday. It seems like such a lie. Change our plans on a rainy day. A new lesson to be learned today. Pack up your guns and your soldiers too. Because one sick mind depends on you. No school today, it's just a memory. One mind gone wrong. I don't wanna play on Monday. I don't wanna play on Monday. Into my memory, not just another Monday. It seems like such a lie. Lie. Playing quietly, lost in
And it was it just felt, you know, it's corny and cliche, but it just felt like a sort of homecoming. Like everything we'd done up until that point, you know, was to, led to that day, you know, like we used to get on the phone and call managers and call booking agents and venues and stuff, you know, again, being naive, thinking that by calling a hotel and getting a gig is going to make us famous, which just doesn't happen that way, you know, there's so many channels you can go. But we did a lot of that in high school and we put up our own posters and stuff. So then to be playing the main stage of The Big Day Out, and after we'd had like a #1 album and all that sort of stuff, it was just a brilliant day, and I really felt like you come off stage thinking, yeah, we've accomplished something, you know.
Day 64 and we're in Seattle. Greg, you want some Vegemite? Vegemite.
You want to think of Vegemite? Shit sucks.
Mister! Hi. How you doing this fine Seattle morning?
Drunk, hungover like a bitch. What are you doing?
Is that Vegemite? Vegemite. Look at that.
Oh! It's been a long time, man.
Fuck yeah. Yum.
Fucking hell.
Hey Chris,
You got something on your face?
Isn't it Christmas time yet?
Just up here on your forehead. Yeah, that's it. That's much better. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That was nice. What did you about that, Trey?
What am I in for?
You gotta be right. You gotta be in. You gotta be right. You gotta be in.
How you doing? And that's it for Grimsby, fellow Australians. Fuck yeah.
If you guys only knew how fucking big they were in Australia.
Anyway, we're the living end. Hey, that was a great shot. I gotta pay that one. Nice shot. Got the lead singer in the head. Cool, man. Where was I? You fucking I'm gonna go from. I can't sleep. I need the love. Shall seem to go nowhere. I lost my clothes.
This is what I like to see. People having fun and being fucking kind and nice to each other. This is how we do it in Australia, people. You treat people how you want to be treated and everyone gets on fucking fine. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I say that we kicked every other band's ass today. What do you reckon? Let's just be arrogant Australians and say we kicked the shit out of them. We'll see you next time, Salt Lake City. This one's called Second Solution. Have a good day, and remember, the person next to you could be your future partner. Uh-oh.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost.
tired, but I don't really give a fuck. This one's called Have They Forgotten?
One soul, one life, one soul, one life, one meaning. One soul, one life, one meaning. As far as we know, so why the hell should we be grieving? I don't know. Without no hope. They say there's nothing we can do. Just stand back. But while the government comforts you and says let's be patient, one more cell becomes vacant. Have they forgotten what it's all about? Sometimes I wonder, can work it out? An equation with no answer. Have they forgotten what it's all about? One soul, one life, one meaning. As far as we know, so why the hell should we be grieving? I don't know. A house without no hope. Have they forgotten what it's all about? Sometimes I wonder, can work it out? An equation with no answer. Have they forgotten what it's all about? Too many times we don't react. Too many things. Oh, that's just crap. And if you cannot see the effect it has on me, you're right. Have they forgotten what it's all about? Sometimes I wonder, can work it out? An equation with no answer. Have they forgotten what it's all about?
Thank you. See you later. Have a good day.
Say hi to all the kids in Australia. This is going back to Australia.
Hi, Australia.
Hi, Australians. We're from the land down under.
Need another pen.
That's a nude pen, though. That's rude, look. Look, Chris, how rude that is. Oh my god.
I should have brought a.
Mum would be ashamed.
Because they're American.
I thought you. Living End's the best.
I don't remember.
What?
Living End's the best.
I gotta pay that kid now. What was that? That was a buck, wasn't it? What did you say? Living End's the best?
Something like that.
Yeah, alright, that's good. Pitch black.
Ooh. 3 cans for 3 mans.
Thank you.
For one band's.
1 man's. It's broken.
What? Oh, don't worry.
What about Dan, our illustrious producer?
Let's go have a look. What's up, Dan? Well, I don't know, Dan. You want a beer?
Sure, man.
I have to go get one. I'll get another one.
Thank you, times.
Not a problem there, RSO. So you got something for me yet or what?
Yes,
Nah, we just
Should we play something? Just like...
How are they treating you? Is it all right?
Rock and roll.
They treating you well? Look at this, we got all this going on.
Oh, these boys are very popular. The Living End. The Living End.
The Living End.
This is the Living End's second trip to the stage tonight, having earlier scored an aria for Best New Artist.
As far as like the household name and selling hundreds and thousands of records or whatever, it just goes over the top of your head when it's happening, you know. It's just, you're always just still kind of working at trying to be a better band and get across to more people and everything. And
for a rockabilly band from Wheelers Hill, of all places. But that's the I don't know, the beauty of music, I suppose. And there's always been a real drive with this band. I think maybe it was because we came from the suburbs and we looked up to bands that were sort of, you know, cool inner city bands and stuff, and never thought that we'd ever be able to play the Espy or play at the Tote or anything. You know, that was always something that we might be able to do a Tuesday afternoon or something there.
Trav?
I leave all my drums to my girlfriend. Don't tell them ever. I don't know what he's saying. Let's laugh anyway.
Trav's got the look of fear on his face.
Trust me.
Princess Leia. Help me, Obi-Wan. Help me, Obi-Wan.
Well, I think you should have another listen.
I think it's a funky demo moment.
I don't know how we're going to get.
It's an FDM.
How we're going to get.
We ended up with like 40 songs or something. There was too many ideas, and every song in itself had too many ideas. You know, I mean, a lot of the songs on Roll On are kind of pretty complicated, and they jump around a lot. And I don't think they're particularly an easy listen.
Stole this off a Jewel song. Actually, we didn't because we wrote this song. This is a very, very old song, probably about 3 years. And then Jewel released a song. We have been cited as one of her many influences.
Jewel?
Yep.
I'm the drummer. 1, 2, 1, 2.
It was a case of, you know, trying to sort of dwindle those ideas down and make them more simple. So there was almost like way too much going on.
Just in case.
Yes.
You never know what can happen. There's public cubicles.
I don't know you,
Car
Jack.
could break that.
After the first album, everyone was saying, "Oh, you know, great album, and you know, it's a classic," and all this sort of stuff, you know, which we didn't sort of believe at the time, because it was like, yeah, well, that's good, but we've got so many other ideas, you know, we're just still learning about the studio and still becoming a better band, and again, probably very naive in that respect, and I think the less you know sometimes, and the more ignorant you are, probably the better off you are in this industry.
Straight beat.
Because if I'd have stopped at the end of the first album and gone, God, I'm not going to top this, you know, then we would have been doomed. But I was always like, yeah, it's all right, you know, but got all these ideas for the next album.
Or whatever.
enough, but somehow it don't seem enough, 'cause the world wouldn't listen anymore. God, by social bones, was the streetwise after all? Was she there at all? Pictures in the mirror, pictures she never knew. Pictures in the mirror, always reflecting you. Not such an ordinary life. Pictures in the mirror, the sun goes down.
But we had the advantage of having truckloads of demos to just sift through for the second album. I think we ended up with about 50 songs or something.
It's still kind of like that now. We've always got way too many songs, but it's just a matter of trying to fine tune it, I think, and make a solid album, not just a bunch of ideas, you know. I think.
All the arrangements of the songs and stuff on Roll On, we just went as wacky as we possibly could. Like, we just did as much in each song as we possibly could. And then when Nick Launay came on board to do pre-production, he had to trim a lot of stuff off it because it was just ridiculous. Like, listening back to the demos, it was just ridiculous. Some of the twists and turns the songs made, they were like little rock operas. But that was like us kind of rebelling against people thinking that we're a punk pop 3-chord kind of band.
He's gonna get you in the end. Then he'll be your own friend. There's nothing that'll save your soul. All you need is alcohol. Step right up and be a man. On your knees and break. Freedom's just another open bottle anyway. So one more round is all I need. Fill it up and let me be. It's getting late, I should have known. Won't somebody carry me home?
It's probably my favourite gig just because, you know, the whole, you spend being young and deciding that you want to be in a band is like the last thing you folks ever want to hear. You know, opening up for, you know, one of the biggest bands in the world and an Australian icon kind of band, and getting to have our families there as well.
No one to tell us what to do. As we're on our own, and there's nothing you can do. We don't need no one.
It was just awesome, you know. It was like a big way of saying thanks to my parents for being excellent and letting me kind of, not giving me pressure and giving me a hard time about playing in a band. It's good to be able to go, hey, check this out, you know, we're playing at the Tennis Centre and it's my birthday and everything, you know. It was just a kind of special moment, special night with lots of good ingredients, including birthday cake. Yeah, I have to ask Angus, like, how come you guys chose us? How come you chose us for your tour? I said, surely every band under the sun wanted to open up for you guys on your tour. And he goes, oh, you guys be better than the rest of the shit. My daughter's like you, so yeah, you got better than the rest of the shit at the moment. So that was pretty flattering, hearing that from Angus Young.
Do I look like Robert De Niro? Alright, well, I'll try and impersonate him. I'll just do some method acting. Forget about it.
Hello. Hi. Not friendly, are they?
No, not at all.
I only did that because the camera was on. I was going to see, like a test, to see whether they were going to be friendly.
I wasn't really pointing it at them though. Oh, that was much friendlier.
Call to quit, stand up to vote. For your dreams end up in smoke. Calling you out. All of your plans will be washed away. Washed away.
It's my mate. Billy Bob, Bobby Bob Bob.
Life is a sin. Life is a sin. Living to win. Living to win. And we're all sinners after all. We don't want to listen to what you say. We're old enough to know better. You got blood on your hands, then you.
No, it's like blues, jazz, and rock, and country. As far as I know, I mean, the original guys that kind of invented it back then, they were sort of forming a hybrid of all those styles. And that's kind of what we try to do, but we do it with like sort of rockabilly and like obviously we're influenced by punk and blues and jazz and all the stuff that kind of makes up all those different genres. We try and do as many as possible because we just can't make up our mind what we want to be and we kind of like it all.
So tonight's being filmed, right? So you guys should go nice and fucking crazy for the cameras here, all right? Might get your face on telly. Yeah, that one. Here's a bit of Australian rock and roll for you.
I can't see myself playing Prisoner of Society, you know, for many more years. I can see us touring for a lot longer, but depending on what kind of touring, you know, and what people see as being the living end, whether we're going to be that, you know, I mean, I think people see the name and they think of this energetic kind of fun kind of band that's, you know, got these, you know, some of the songs are a bit juvenile, and I just think there'll come a point where we grow out of that.
Talk back, help me out!
I'm a fucking comedian. You're just lucky that I've got a red drum kit. Your band would be fucked.
Thank the Lord it's your day.
Thank God I've got a decent haircut too. Is this on?
I think so.
Why did it come to this? He was getting a lift.
Why do we have to be so ugly? Alright, so
what are we
this
going to
stuff...
do with this?
Well, let's put it in the suitcase. The simplicity of, you know, a good song, just being able to hear it once or twice or three times and and remember. So that's the beauty of good pop songs. And I think all Australians like, you know, having a good time. It's the soundtrack to their lives sometimes, you know, these poppy songs. But it's played with a very ferocious passion, I think.
You couldn't prove yourself in a pub full of drunk Aussies, you know, like you would kind of get, I don't know, bottles and stuff thrown at you, I suppose. So a lot of them played really raw and really hard and kind of like, you know, really tough, became really tough, which I think is a kind of Australian trait.
I can't remember exactly where I was, but my dad rang me. He'd obviously heard about it from Chris's old man.
I think it was late the next day when I heard it on Triple J or something. You know, Chris Cheney from The Living End's been involved in a pretty serious car accident. I was like, wow.
I just remember it was like, you know, I was sort of unconscious, but yeah, I never blacked out. I remember sort of feeling like I'd woken up, and again, it was like something out of the movies, that the bonnet was kind of, there was a lot of smoke coming out, and I sort of turned around and the door from the car was just missing. And anyone who knows Kingswoods knows that it's pretty, you know, they're built like tanks, and for the door to have been ripped off like that, you know, it was a pretty sort of full-on impact.
Yeah, he told me he'd been in an accident on the Great Ocean Road and he was in the hospital, and I expected all kinds of horrible things like brain damage or spinal injuries or never being able to walk again, or broken, or he's lost his hands or lost an arm or something and will never be able to play again. So I've got to say I was relieved when I heard that he'd just broken the bone in his leg and it was going to heal up and he's going to make 100% recovery.
I suppose because you know the band, you kind of feel like you know the person as well. So it was it was pretty weird.
It was after that I kind of looked down and sort of from my leg here was across that way. You know, it was at a right angle, and it was. And I think, you know, I started to sort of panic then, and, you know, because I couldn't breathe and my leg was obviously very badly broken. And I just kept thinking, like, what am I doing here and how did this happen? And, you know, when you drive past an accident and you kind of slow down and you sort of look over, and, well, that's what everyone else was doing up on the Great Ocean Road. And we were kind of down the cliff, you know, and I was kind of looking up and everyone's sort of looking down. I'm thinking, man, I am that person now stuck in that car that everyone's staring at.
But, you know, the thing that gets to me is that Chris is never, like, it was such a random accident. This guy was just, you know, a lunatic driver had come around a corner way too fast, lost control, and Chris just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And the ambulance got there and they didn't have the right medication. They didn't have any morphine or anything with them. And it just went from sort of bad to worse. So they had to lift me out of the car and re-brake my leg, or straighten it on the spot. You know, I don't know why they had to do that immediately, but yeah, the first ambulance didn't have any medication, so they just kind of, you know, almost put one hand over my mouth, and a few of them grabbed me here and a few of them grabbed my legs, and it was just, you know, yank.
Yeah, it just struck me that it shouldn't happen to someone like Chris. You know, there's a lot of people out there who do bad people who do bad things every day, and Chris just is not one of those people. So it's just completely unfair that he should have been put through that kind of pain and victimised like that as well.
The only good thing that came out of it was I feel like I could be shot now, and it'd be like, oh well, whatever. You know, it's not like a great deal of pain compared to that.
You guys are too fucking wild, man. Travis has already broken his drums tonight.
Well, touring with him, he was always good for a one-liner. Never a dull moment with Trav. He had more energy than anyone I've ever met before, because I think he used to drink a hell of a lot of Coca-Cola. What I noticed was that there were half-full cans of Coca-Cola everywhere we went. Thanks for that, Trav.
Everyone by the end of touring Roll On was screaming for a break, you know, because we toured for like 2 years on the first album, 2 years on Roll On. And before the first album, you know, we'd been touring since like 1992 pretty much. It was just a full-time job since high school.
For the first time in years, we'd always like had a schedule that we go by, you know, that we'd have our plans mapped out for months ahead or whatever. And for the first time ever, it was just like take the schedule and throw it out the window, and we don't even know when we're going to look at the calendar again. It just kind of depends on Chris's health, it depends on nature, how quick his leg's going to heal. And
I think Trav had, you know, his mates and his family and stuff around all his life, and all of a sudden he was kind of taken away from that. And I think he just got to a point where the thought of getting back on a tour bus for 6 weeks with the same couple of guys and the same crew and eating the same crappy, you know, truck stop food, you know, didn't look terribly enticing. And, you know, it doesn't really to anyone, does it?
And yeah, he had a real strong identity in the band and stuff. When he quit, I was worried because I just thought, I thought this could quite possibly be a step backwards for the band. You know, it's going to be hard to replace the guy. Because just the whole kind of Keith Moon thing about his playing as well, you know, you never knew what he was going to play. So sometimes there was just these really kind of special moments about his playing and stuff.
But then the drummer leaves, you know, it's like, oh, so what are we going to do? Audition drummers, you know? It seemed like such a bizarre thing to do at that stage of our career.
I got a call from a guy called Rusty, who's a mutual friend of Scott and myself, and he said, you know, it's all top secret, but Trav's left the band.
So we'd heard his name a couple of times, and we thought, all right, well, that's a good place to start. You know, we'll meet with him, but we'll also do auditions with whoever else, you know, is interested. So we just kind of waited for the phone to ring.
So we decided to go and have a few few beers down the local, and it was good. We all got along pretty well, and I think that's a huge part of being in a band, especially at this level.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. He's a good cook. He surfs. He makes damn good coffee. It's good to have a beer with. No complaints. Yeah.
It was pretty much from word go. It just felt right. From my point of view, and I think from the other guys as well.
You know, it all worked out for the best. And we tried all of them, and then we just went, God, we still think that Andy's the best. So I think Scott might have called him and said, sorry, mate, you're not in the band. Nah, but he was in.
I'd like to take a minute, if I can, to introduce to Tokyo our new drummer. This is Andy! Stand up, Andy. Andy Big Balls Strachan. By name and by nature.
Hello, Nilo.
Yeah, I'm ready.
He's ready. Hey, alright. Generally Chris that comes up with a song and says, what do you guys think? Can you add anything to it? He's always open and asking for your input, which is, it's pretty special, really.
It's good to bring in a tune and then have an idea where you want it to go, and then get the other guys' opinions, and because it can definitely take you in a direction that you wouldn't have thought of. And I love getting surprised by ideas and making a mistake on something and coming across something that you wouldn't necessarily have done on the outset.
Yeah, it really does feel like the band's got a whole new strength now with Andy in it, so a lot more kind of rock hard kind of solid strength to it, so it definitely feels like a step forward, which is a massive relief, because that period there when Trav quit was just scary. Going through auditions and stuff, just thinking, oh God, what are we gonna end up with? What if this could be the beginning of the end? It could just be all over for us. The dynamic might just completely drop when we get a new drummer, and it might just be shit.
That's an ending. One more song in the bank.
That's all we do. That's why we make an album.
It's that simple. It's that fucking simple.
We do it once and then that's it. We mix it. It's done.
It ain't simple.
The vocals just appear after.
Then you get a team of trained monkeys who come in and do the other tracks.
I thought that's what we were.
Oh.
Actually, it wasn't that, but that looked better.
Oh, I'm excited.
How excited?
Real excited. Oh, I'm excited.
How excited?
Real excited.
Scott's having his first VB in several months.
That's Australian for beer.
Cheers, cheers, digger.
Here comes the metal.
It's definitely got like an Eastern flavour. It's going to make you play like a lot more. Your feng shui's going to be a lot better off. you have to be in the right headspace. You know, there's, okay, you can have a song where it goes A, then D, then G minor, and you go, all right, well, we just go in there and just play those chords, and, you know, and press record, and that's it. And it's kind of, it's got nothing to do with that. You've got to be in the right headspace. And I found when recording this album that I did kind of want to go home a few times, and there's something about getting out of the studio environment and being at home that's nice. And I don't know, Burbank just wasn't the most sort of picturesque kind of place to be.
I have some trivia. I'll show you the door of our rehearsal recording studio, which TV show these hills are in the opening scenes of. Door, and these hills. Down, 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 do 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 do.
Oh, sorry.
No, he's shit house. It's really, really bad. He's amazing. He can turn any idea into a good one. Even some of my ideas sound good when it's coming out of Chris's guitar or his vocals, you know. But he has he's got a real knack, I think. He probably writes, you know, hundreds and hundreds of songs that we don't even hear, but, you know, we still hear this massive amount sometimes. Sometimes he just comes in with this songwriting diarrhea. He just 10 songs a day. He's like, oh, I wrote this last night. That's a fucking hit. How do you do it?
Oh, you can hide away.
So it's shaky ground because I've never sung it to the track before as well. But do you hear the vibe I'm going for?
Yes.
Just more of a straight.
Yes. Shall I give you my comments now? For me, the melody was the song.
Yeah.
And you're changing that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's just try the old one.
Excellent.
Through and warm up a little bit.
Okay.
I definitely think that Roll On was more complex than the first album. I don't know whether Modern Artillery, I think that's an easier listen than what Roll On was, because it was supposed to be kind of a rebellion or a departure from what we'd done with Roll On. And the idea behind Roll On was that we were known as this three-piece kind of punkabilly kind of band that was three-chord sort of punk rock sort of stuff. And I was like, okay, that's fine, but, you know, that's only one side of what we're into or I'm into. So I thought, right, well, this album's going to be the most complicated listen. It's going to go here and then it's going to go here. And, you know, you got to listen to it like 5 times before you get it. You know, I want it to be an absolute masterpiece, basically. And my idea at that time of a masterpiece was to have as much information as possible. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's the truth, you know. because there's albums out there with just piano and voice, and they're masterpieces. It's all about the mood and the layering and and just the songs basically. So with Modern Artillery, it was trying to get back to a more simplistic way of just having the songs written better and maybe even more simpler, but not taking away the fact that they should still be interesting to listen to.
I just had the lens on. But that's alright. Chris is fucked. Look at him. Look at him. He's had a few too many beers and bourbons. Now look at this. Look at this shit. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Chris refuses to get out of his chair at this point. Here he goes. It's a hard life. Chris Cheney trying very hard to get around the table. Here he goes. He's lining up. Bad shot.
It's good that he did. It's not like he walked in like, yep, I'm in a famous band now, I've got it made. He's never had that attitude. So, and I don't think any of us do. And I think that's what makes us probably, gives us a certain drive. And maybe it's an insecurity thing that we always look to other bands and go, man, like that. Like when we're watching the Queens of the Stone Age and bands like that, I just think, man, we can never be that good, And it's because of that want that drives you to just, always better yourself.
What's your favourite Living End song and why?
That's difficult, they're all wicked. And the problem is they're too good to define one song in the whole band. It's too good. And they all have each side has their own individual little piece of wonderful wickedness.
What's your favourite Living End song and why?
Second Station, because it's brilliant.
I love the Living End because they're very cool and Australian. And we never see them over here, and we miss them very much. Come over much more. Come over, they're fucking wicked. The best fucking Australian band. Come to Europe more often, you lazy bastards.
We try to make you understand. Try to make you realize. Our fate is down and time is up, but somehow it don't seem enough. 'Cause the world wouldn't listen anymore.
I think it's Sunlight Magazine of the new record because it kicks ass.
Where are you guys from?
Germany. We came 500 kilometers to see this fucking concert. And we paid a lot of money. And we're damn excited and we are totally loaded.
At the moment, second solution. English Army is the second movie.
Prisoner Society, man. That's what it's all about. Great solo, you know, you can relate, man. You're trapped. Get him, man. He's the best living end band ever, man.
He's the biggest living end band in the world.
Since day one, he's been here, man.
He just come in with
busted up big
with
time.
ideas. He just I guess it's here I am. I did him in. Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
It's a bit of a nasty nosebleed you got there.
I know. I know.
Fuck with Warners and this is what's happened.
Doors opening. Ground floor. Doors opening.
That's the last time I tell Jack White I think the White Stripes.
I do probably more hours in the band than any full-time job. It's pretty full on. It takes you away from home a lot, and you know, there's long days. There's obviously really short days and days where you don't have any responsibility at all. But when you're working, it's hard work. But I wouldn't trade it for anything, and you know, I hope I don't have to go out looking for another job again. It'd be very cool if it lasted, you know, I don't know how long it's going to last, but if it's 1 year, 5 years or 10 years, I'll be a happy man, you know. Anything past this point is a bonus. I'm just going to do a movie. Here we are in America. I'm not allowed to film Al, but there he is. There's Scotty.
Can I be in your film?
And his muscles are there. Very nice arms. This is the bus, coffee machine. This is what saves our life every day. There's the clock that we all live by. Bunks, 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 bunks. Chris's legs.
How you going?
Pretty good.
What about you in TV land? Well?
I'll film myself via the mirror maybe. Stereo.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. This bus is, would you say?
Shit.
Yes. Chris working on the next album.
Here's for you.
Thanks. Hello? No. I quit monkeying around.
Microwave, you think? It's actually a storage cupboard. Yeah. You watch yourself when you wee.
Have they seen the Star Trek rules?
Magic.
Captain, the Kenny Cracker fit.
Message for Australia.
That's 4 knockers.
Good. That time again. That time again.
They belong here.
Say hello to Australia.
Hello, Australia.
Thank you, brother. What do we owe you for that? No, take it. Thank you, thank you. Oh, he's just had a haircut today. Very nice. And he's growing a beard. So his side profile of the beard looks... There we go.
Searching for somewhere to go. We found a place that we call home, but it was empty. Yeah, there was nobody there, and the clouds began to break. We tried to run, but it was too late. Now it's done, and you gotta move on, 'cause it's never gonna be the same. When the rain came down on Maitland Street, would we drown in the sorrow of another dark beat? Will we be remembered if we don't get beat? Your hair in the clouds, your feet on the ground. Will we be remembered? Will we be remembered? Or lost in history? Maitland Street.
My favourite live song would be Hold Up. It's fast and it's got all the fun accents to play, and also live. When we do it live these days, it's not on the recording, but in the middle section we break it right down, and then Chris does this. Chris and I do this question answer thing with guitars and drums, so it sort of keeps it interesting. Every night's a little bit different. Same sort of ideas, but slightly different every time. So it's always a fun song in the set. And some nights it's better than others, but generally it's a blast.
Yeah, that I don't know what it is about Japan, but it's just the best place to go and play. They're just the most enthusiastic of all audiences in the world, basically. They're full on.
Obviously the shows were great and the crowds were great, but you get to go out for dinner after the show. So you play your shows really early, and then the lovely people at our record company over there take us out every night, and you eat Korean barbecue and drink beer by the pitcher, and it's great.
Hello. This is going to be really funny to watch.
Drive me up the wall, it seems. What more can I do? You're just no good for me. So lock me up and throw away the key.
Hi.
'Cause I've just about had all I can take from you. Oh, good. What is it?
This is Mr. Cheese.
Arigato. Now I'm feeling blue, but everything will be alright. I can keep you outside, 6 feet under. I know I will have a.
I don't know whether he can bear it anymore. Look, that's just not very funny at all. David Brent called, he wants his sunglasses back. Nah, you can't have them.
Loading our gear into our cars and driving up the coast and stuff for as many times as we did years ago. It's really satisfying now to be on 3rd or 4th album and stuff, and to be doing things like this, and it's been a lot of hard work, and it's cool, you know. I wouldn't sort of trade it, because we're very lucky, even the down times, you know, we're very lucky to be doing what we're doing and playing music for a living, and to be able to play music, I think, is just a gift in general, and you know, and I hope that we'll always be sort of thankful of that. And I urge everyone to be able to, you know, play a musical instrument, because it's really satisfying in life, and all this other stuff on top of that is just a bonus. The fact that we're successful at it, you know, is really cool. But we still just love playing music, and I put on a record and get excited about it the same way now as what I always have, and I hope we never lose that. You know, as long as we never lose that, I think the band will continue.
Tour motto is, the show must go off.
On tour forever, yeah, who knows, who knows. That'd be nice. Yeah, it wouldn't be all bad.
Well, it's something that I really need to say. Have you ever wondered why the truth is hard to say? Say, why must it be this way? A broken deal and now it's time to pay. Trying hard to understand what happened yesterday. the powers above us.